Hey, what's up? It's your boy KB. This is Maybe You Needed to Hear This today. So, I kind of wanted to get into, been watching some stuff about neuroplasticity and what it is that happens in the brain whenever an adult, or just a human being goes through actual change, you know what I mean? Like in their head, not just like on the outside or, change their clothes obviously or their style, but actually changes their habits. So we have crystallized like intelligence and fluid intelligence. And I'm sure you can imagine, crystallized means, when it's become a solid thing, it's not fluid, it doesn't change anymore. So fluid, whenever you're a kid, you can adapt quickly, you can learn things quickly, more time. But as an adult, you lose that, because your brain's really just trying to get you through the day of, being alive on this planet and just, what is reality, and, after your senses get done filtering everything. So, you get into especially really bad habits where the rut that you've dug is just so incredibly deep. The thought of crawling out of it and trying something new is just like what it's, I know sometimes, we can worship everything that we shouldn't. We can worship alcohol, we can worship, the drugs when we're doing it, we can worship music even, but, the way that, because I don't necessarily want to just say, this is about substances and, abusing them, because it's just, the way the brain works, it's all very similar pathways and, things that happen. And this neuroscientist was saying that one of the main differences is that trying new things was the thing that helped, reintroduce maybe the fluid intelligence. The brain is definitely a lot more complicated, obviously, than even with this AI stuff. I know we're going to definitely learn a lot more about everything. These next 10 years are going to be crazy, but anyway, I digress. So I started likening that to what's going on in my life. So I know one of the things that's really helping carry me through stuff is that whenever I tell myself that I'm going to do something, now I do it. And it's taken a while to get to that point and a lot of disappointing myself along the way. But, I just kind of got tired of lying to myself, letting myself down, telling myself I wouldn't do this, I'm not gonna, make this decision again, I'm not gonna go down that road. And then 2 days later down the road, and I think that's also kind of just part of being proud of yourself, you know what I mean? Like, it is so awesome being proud of myself, just knowing that I am doing what I can, you know what I mean? And every day I'm trying to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. And that's really it, I spend as much time with my kids as I can, you know what I mean? And eat good food and whatever now. But the other stuff that, my life is completely different now than it was 3 years ago. I mean, just from the bottom to the top. I wish the only thing that I definitely wish was a little bit better. I wish my sleep was a lot better, but I think everybody does. I don't know, but anyway, the decisions that I've made to do breakfast finally. Breakfast is really helpful when you need nutrients in your body. You need. It helps you stay awake sometimes. No, but seriously though, it's like I kind of do overnight oats with it, and it's so good, and it helps. And then I realized a long time, I don't know what happened, though I do know what happened. I'm not gonna necessarily get into it, but I changed the way that my body looked at hunger and eating, and I was spending money on stuff that shouldn't. And whenever you're drinking a lot, you know what I mean, you don't have room for food and stuff. So I had to. I'm still doing it, it's but I can see the progress already, and that's trusting the process. You know what I mean? I've seen the flowers from the plants that I planted a year ago now. So that helps me trust knowing that hey, these other things that I have going on, you know what I mean, they're going to keep getting better too. And you deal with the bad days. I mean, when there was just forgot to cancel my Fubo subscription, which is 100% my fault. They send you an email the day before. I was thinking about it, but now I get to watch the Pens because NHL hockey playoffs. But anyway, it took some of the last little bit of money I had in my checking account to get me through to payday. And one of my offspring misplaced a large note currency bill, which is fine. That's fine, but just the kind of all that, man. I was in the car, and I was in a parking lot. I can't even remember where. Probably maybe Walmart. Yeah, I think I was in the Walmart parking lot, of course. And I just did a primal yell F. And I'm pretty sure that there was actually somebody that, and I kind of sat and I dealt with it for a minute, but, I didn't think I was gonna go and do something stupid, but I knew that, okay. So I had to stop and, reevaluate my options and whatnot, and I figured something out. And also when I'm making good decisions, when I'm making good decisions, it's easier to get by, you know what I mean? I'm not caught up in some stupid ass lie, and I'm not spending money at some establishment, you know what I mean, that has really tall chairs and I got through it. And up the next day and the sun was still outside, so that was nice. I had my kids too, so that always helps. But just like with sitting down and doing this, I get why it's tough doing all this, but I hope maybe I can help somebody. I don't know. I don't really want to, ask people to like and subscribe or this and that. Like, I'm not trying to sell anything. I just, one, I don't know if I said it before, another thing, but whenever you spend your life only focused on you and, pleasurable experiences for yourself, you're number one, like, just constantly going somewhere and indulging and, going to Vegas and maybe getting into some of the super extra stuff that Vegas has to offer, and you're just like what is it, like, living the 7 deadly sins essentially. And it's, you think it's gonna make you happy because obviously you're doing everything that is pleasure, like you're, just constantly hitting that button. But it's like, whenever there's never any lows, the high's the low, like it's weird how it becomes that you never see it until you're already there. Like, you're not like, oh man, I see that one coming, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you realize that your house is on fire and there's nothing you can do. You're just, this is not a real house, a metaphorical house, I guess. It's not a real house, just a metaphorical one, and it's burning. You're stuck inside and you don't know what to do. It's really, really hard to reach your hand out to. Oh man, thinking about how far I've come from that first time though, of being like, extending my hand for help and trying to trust other individuals that I've never met before with, my immediate future, if that makes sense. So now it's living your life to help people is what it's about, and that's kind of like the original teaching of somebody else, that it's about helping the downtrodden and the people that are sick and really need it. Like, I know that probably makes me some crazy liberal socialist or something, but it's not what I'm saying here, but I'm not one of those people that needs to make $1 million or needs to make $1 billion to feel good about themselves and to feel like they've accomplished something. I'm very proud of my talent, singing and being able to talk and help people. And I have, 4 beautiful kids that are also smart. And they're gonna really, they're gonna contribute something to this world, because I'm gonna do a better job than my dad did. And he did a pretty good job, considering, guys that grew up in the 50s. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and apologize for boomers. But I definitely learned enough to be a good dad myself, and to use the platform that he provided and to springboard off of it and make it even better. And the world changes and stuff so much anyway, so you can't really equate raising one generation to another. But I'm so proud of them that that's priceless, and the thought of working so hard that I made $1 million, that I would miss all the things that I've seen and all the time that I've spent with them, you know what I mean? Especially these past couple of years, like when maybe my vision hasn't been so cloudy. Like that's sometimes everything you need is already there. I mean, and that's not everybody too. I'm definitely a very lucky guy. But I mean, I've flown high with the eagles and I've slithered with the snakes. I've been on the back alleys at the bad times of night, talking to people that I shouldn't be talking to. And I've been on the highest of highs. And it's, you need both of them. I know this is great, but you need to have the bad times to realize how good the good times are, and that really is just it. It's simple, and it's stupid, but goddamn it, it's true. So I think I'm gonna shut up on that. My name's KB Hatfield from Washington, PA. Again, this is something I'm just trying to do called Maybe You Needed to Hear This Today. I don't know how often I'm gonna make these. I'm gonna try and do it as often as I can, every other day, and just kind of see where it goes. It helps me to talk about stuff, you know what I mean? Like, get thoughts out, so